Well, hello. This is Rochelle, and welcome to my channel. So, I was recently hospitalized for my infusions. I get infusions every 6 months. Um, yes, that left there. In the hospital, I tried, or I play with my watercolors and watercolor paper, and I did these berries as a little thank you card to one of the nurses that helped me out. And so I wanted to do that in my Bible and see how the watercolors react on my Bible. I quite enjoyed doing the watercolor on watercolor paper. Like I said, learning. By no means expert, but absolutely enjoying the journey of learning. And I've actually on Instagram and stuff like that followed a few people who do watercolors just to see and get some inspiration and yeah, experimenting. I want to challenge you to step out of your comfort zone, step out of what you think and the labels you have put on yourself. You can't draw, you're not artistic, this, that, the next thing. We have all kinds of excuses, and those excuses often become the pause button on our journey of exploring talent and exploring abilities. A lot of this is practice, and I'm just really loving the learning experience of all of this. So I'm doing this in a little Bible I have reserved for exactly this, trying out new things and only painting, so no printables in this specific little Bible. It's a double column ESV, little soft cover, and it's a little bit smaller than the other Bibles that I have. And like I said, absolutely enjoying the journey. I think I could have probably done this lower to avoid going over the words, but because it's watercolor, it is see-through and I can still read all of the words. And the verse that I chose with this, even though it doesn't mention blueberries anywhere, was in Habakkuk 3, and I've actually done a recent video with one of Ella Roots' printables on this verse called Yet, and I will link that in the description. But I really wanted to explore, like I said, drawing these fruits with this verse. I am letting it dry in between. Obviously, this is not watercolor paper, so it does not handle the watercolor the same as watercolor paper would. And the water does kind of pool and move differently on this paper, and where it is wet, it kind of crinkles a lot more. So the crinkles is the places where the water kind of pools. So that there. I am letting it dry first before I work on the adjacent berries, just so that it doesn't bleed into each other and I can still get that crisp image of a berry on its own and not kind of flowing into each other like that. So while I'm waiting for it to dry, I've written out the verse, and I'm using a chisel nib or a calligraphy nib. It's called a chisel nib on the Faber-Castell Pit Artist pens. I am also using the Faber-Castell watercolor pans. They are brand new from Faber-Castell and I'm loving them. They're just gorgeous. I want to read you the verse. It says, "Though the fig tree should not blossom, nor fruit be on the vines, the produce of the olive fail, and the fields yield no food, the flock be cut from the fold, and there be no herd in the stalls, yet will I rejoice in the Lord. I will take joy in the God of my salvation. God, the Lord, is my strength. He makes my feet like the deer's. He makes me tread on the high places." And this is in Habakkuk 3, verse 17 to 19. And it's such a beautiful lesson to learn, especially in this time. We've kind of been postponing my infusions, with the current situation, trying to stretch it out as far as we could, but I couldn't do it any longer, and so we had to go. And the fear and the anxiety and the physical stuff in front of you kind of, you sometimes need to look at it and see these things, though it's not the way it should be, though there isn't fruit, though the physical shows you something else other than what you expect to see, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. Yet I will praise him. Even though, yet I will praise him. And that was a challenge for me. And I love giving that joy to others. People asking me why I'm peaceful. It's God. It's God. It's not me, my self-stress, but it's God. It's God who gives me the peace, and so I will rejoice in him. Thanks for joining me. I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.